not quite 1/4 and never just half, but the entirety of one primate, whole. It is the part of a story, an idea that means more to you than me. Hello and welcome to Full Gorilla Life. We are Jeremy Keene,
Larry Medina,
and Corey Hewlings.
Each week, we will break down an important life concept or talk with an inspiring person so that you can live your full gorilla life. And welcome back to Full Gorilla Life. We are back in studio, and today we have Chase Castellano. Did I say it right?
You said it perfectly.
Did I do it? All right.
Nailed
Welcome. Chase is a friend of my brother-in-law, and I've met him. I've known him for a few years, but I first found him at the counter of Chick Fil A wearing his bow tie, and found him there before I knew him through Kaika. So you made an impression many years ago, I guess, and now you're chasing your dream.
That's right.
So welcome to the studio, and glad to have you on.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, Chase, we're going to do the Gorilla Gauntlet. I am going to add one more question to this.
I may add another one after you.
So they're changing the rules here.
Because you're a bow tie guy, tie or clip?
I could never do clip.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
all right,
that's
listen,
fair.
when you're done, I have an additional question.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just
So
not
the Gorilla
same.
Gauntlet is supposed to be rapid fire questions.
Okay, did
and
you
can
ever?
be like, but
Hold
that's
on,
okay.
we're going to get into that.
That's fine.
Did you ever wear clip?
No, never. It's like wearing a clip-on tie. Wait, how many people do that?
6-year-olds.
But people,
Yes.
but people
Larry.
find it acceptable
No.
to wear clip-on bow ties for some reason.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not coming
Am
at
I right?
anybody. Listen, I'm not coming at Larry or anybody else. Just listen. We got YouTube. You can learn how to tie
That's
a
exactly
tie.
how
Yeah,
I learned.
but there's also T-shirts that are printed with a bow tie on it.
I appreciate those as well.
Yeah.
All right. So get into it. Married or single?
Married.
Any children?
No children yet.
City you live in?
Currently Bainbridge, Georgia.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone for life.
Favorite movie or book?
Inception.
Favorite genre of music?
I would probably say hip-hop.
Old or new? I got to ask that question.
I'm
every
going to
time.
say older. So mid-2000s, some
Okay.
90s.
You might have
Biggie,
heard of some of
Tupac.
Larry's stuff. He used to be a rapper.
Oh,
100%.
I would like to. If it's on Apple Music, I'll look you up.
No, we're still looking for
We'll
it.
get with
actually. There is a demo tape somewhere. Anybody out there in the Full Gorilla universe, if you have a demo tape of Larry rapping, I will pay top dollar for it.
I may or may not have one.
Not.
Okay.
Next question.
Reservation or just walk in?
I prefer walk-in.
Favorite type of food?
Steak.
I appreciate that. What kind of steak? What's your cut?
I've really been appreciating New York strip, but ribeye is probably my
You got to go
all-time.
ribeye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
ribeye.
hug it out later.
What type of vehicle do you drive?
Currently a Jeep.
Wrangler or
It is a Grand Cherokee.
Grand Cherokee? All right. Beer, whiskey, or wine?
Or none.
Yeah, you have options.
It's if I had to choose out of those, probably whiskey.
You could say other.
Whiskey.
Other.
What would your other?
It if I do drink alcohol, when I do, it's generally a
Zima?
vodka base.
That used to be mine.
Yeah.
A vodka base. Nice.
Yeah,
So you
so
can mix.
mix.
It's got a good mix, so
Yeah.
you can go any route you want
Yeah.
to. So that's
Exactly.
fair.
Okay.
That's
All right.
That's a good.
All right, cool.
All right, so I have an additional question.
Sure.
Have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
No, I never had the chance, actually.
Would
You can
wanna
get them
try
on
one, though?
Facebook Marketplace.
I would love to try one just to give it a shot.
Right? I want to know what
Listen,
what's
it's
the fuss?
garbage. I seen it.
It doesn't
Chat-
matter what you've seen. Have you tasted
Listen, I trust. What's his name? Dave Portney.
Has he had it?
Barstool? Yeah, he did the
Oh,
taste test.
it? No, he hasn't.
Yes, he did.
I don't trust him.
Think it like this. Sorry, Chase.
You know who Dave Portney? I'm probably butchering the last name.
Barstool.
Barstool Sports.
I know
Listen.
the Instagram page Barstool Sports.
Okay.
I didn't know there
Did
was.
you? Yeah, the dude that founded it. He tried it.
He
One
wasn't a
bite.
fan. So
He
to
knew
kind
the
of
rules.
let that transition to what we're doing, Chase has worked for Chick Fil A for how many years now?
12 years
12 years. And I don't know what you started at, so I'll let you kind of share that. But I know your ultimate dream.
is to own my own Chick Fil A.
Okay. So
Okay.
go ahead and you can kind of start where that might have originated from, whether it was younger, when it happened.
Or what's your path now?
Yeah, give us just a little background here.
Okay, so I'll try to make this not too long, but I started at the age of 15 at Chick Fil A in the Indian River Mall in Vero Beach, Florida. I didn't know what Chick Fil A was. I lived up in Illinois for a good part of my childhood. So I didn't go to fast food a lot. My mom didn't take me out to eat. We didn't have a whole lot of money. Ate a lot at home. So I knew McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, the basic places. But when I decided I wanted to have a job, I went to Publix, and at the age of 14, Publix they will hire you, but I just kept putting my application in the computer, didn't talk to anyone. I really didn't know what I was doing. So I went around the mall. I went to a coffee shop, and at the coffee shop, it was called Barney's. That was there at the time.
I remember that. Santa's White Christmas.
Yes, exactly. So I went there, and I was like,
Me too.
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
no, that's okay.
We get easily distracted. We're not professionals, as you can tell already.
I get distracted as well. I understand. So I walked into Barney's, and I walked up to whom I thought was the manager. I said, "Hey, can I have an application?" He said, "What are you, 12?" And I said, "No, I'm 15." He said, "Oh, well, we only hire at 18, and but I'm also a manager over that place over there called Chick Fil A. So you can go over there, talk to this guy named Carrie."
At this point, you had not known anything about Chick Fil A.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. It was just that place that was over
That
there in the mall.
place.
I didn't
All
even
right.
go to the mall before then, really.
Yeah.
So walked over to Chick Fil A and asked for Carrie. Carrie walked up. He started talking to me. I said, "Hey, can I just get an application?" And so he had me fill out the application there. He talked to me some more, asked me a little bit about my background, where I went to school. And then he said, "Hey, tomorrow just come, wear some pants and a polo, and just come at this time." I said, "Okay." I didn't know, but that was me getting hired. So
Oh, so that was you saying you got a job. That was him saying you're
Yes,
hired. Oh,
yes,
okay.
exactly.
Fair.
So that next day I went back there and I was watching training videos, and they said, "Hey, do you want anything to eat?" And I said, "What do you guys have?" And they're like, "Chicken."
Let me get a burger.
I was like, "Do you guys have like hot fry or hot wings, or what kind of chicken?" And they're like, "Well, we have like chicken sandwiches and nuggets." I was like, "Do you have like a spicy sandwich?" They're like, "No, we don't have that." That was back in 2006, so that was before the spicy sandwich.
Did they have
Maybe it was your
chicken
idea.
salad back then, though?
They did.
This is shout out to Chick Fil A. Bring back the chicken salad.
I used to love the chicken
Okay.
salad because it's cheap and it's good.
Well,
Never had
I
it.
don't even know the price range. I just need them to bring it back. Okay.
There's actually some that you can still get it at. Not Chick-fil-A's, but what we call dwarf houses or Truett's Chick-fil-A. You can still get the chicken salad
Wait a minute.
sandwich.
Whoa, whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
I-
whoa, whoa,
So
whoa,
just so you know,
whoa,
as you tell your story, we'll
Li-
probably go on tangents, and this is about to
listen,
be
like,
one.
we're gonna
So
have to
go-
back up on this.
Yeah,
what is
Pandora's
this-
box has just been opened.
What did you
What
just
is this
speak
dwarf
of?
house?
So
It
Chick-fil-A,
seems magical.
Yeah.
It's
It's like Lord of the Rings, but with Chick Fil A.
Yeah. It's similar. I guess you could look at it that way, I guess, when you think about the style.
Okay.
But Chick-fil-A wasn't the original. Before Chick-fil-A, the founder, Truett Cathy, started what was called the Dwarf Grill. That eventually burnt down, and he built across the street a place called the Dwarf House, where it was a 24/6 diner, closed on Sundays still, and open 24 hours a day. They would cook burgers, breakfast. They mainly were trying to feed the Delta pilots that were getting off.
It's in
of work
Atlanta,
late
right?
night.
Because that's where
Yes.
Chick-fil-A. Okay.
In Atlanta, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, this little suburb called Hateville. So it's still part of Atlanta, but
Good Lord, how much Chick Fil A history do you know?
Hate. Wait.
I feel like you're about to. We could get a lot. of
H-A-P-E-ville?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
So
I'm enjoying this stuff.
there, he realized that beef sales were going up, or beef cost was going up, but chicken was still lower. So he wanted to start and sell a different product. And it was always bone-in chicken. They didn't have nuggets or strips or anything back then. It was always you get your full chicken,
But not on a bun.
not on a bun
That would
yet.
be disgusting.
So what he did was he decided that he wanted to make a sandwich, like a burger style, but out of chicken. And he took the bone out of the breast, realized that it cooked faster without the bone. That's why he did it. Cooked it under pressure in peanut oil. And
So when you say under pressure, back then, what does that mean?
like a pressure fryer.
Okay.
So
KFC style.
Gotcha.
yeah, they have something similar for sure. And
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A still uses pressure fryers actually for everything but the fries.
But who did KFC invent that? Didn't he?
The pressure
know?
fryer? I don't know. I don't know that piece.
The Colonel?
Yeah, he went around selling
Yeah,
it, letting
no
other he went around letting other restaurants basically use his system. Sorry.
Back to the dwarf house.
It's okay.
He actually didn't become a millionaire until in the 60s.
Yeah, I know. Pointless information. Keep going, Chase.
So
So
that's
dwarf house.
Yes.
Where's the closest dwarf house?
Hold on.
Wait.
So the chicken, he realized the chicken was cheaper than the burger.
Yes. So he was able to cook the chicken a lot faster too when it was with the bone out of it. And then he put that chicken onto a bun, put 2 pickles on it, and then came up with the chicken sandwich. For a little bit, he called it chicken burger. But that's how the Chick Fil A chicken sandwich came to be.
All right, so
That's
me and my son, one day, hold on. One day,
So many questions,
we
man.
were actually sitting down. There's a kid right behind us, and he was saying, I want a Chick Fil A burger. And he said it just like that. So we started dying laughing. And then the next time I went in and I ordered a Chick Fil A burger, which my son thought was funny, but nobody else thought it was funny.
No,
Everybody else was correct. So, where's the closest Dwarf House to Florida or to Vero Beach?
Yeah, I know where you're going with this, but go.
It's probably just south of Atlanta if I had to think about it. Probably it might be the original, which is in Atlanta. So yeah, it's going to be about.
Do they still
8-hour
open
drive.
new Dwarf Houses?
So they're actually.
I've never heard of them.
They're going to keep the original Dwarf House in Hateville a Dwarf House, but all the other ones they're tearing them down and rebuilding them as Truett's Chick Fil A's. So Truett, Kathy was the founder. Truett died in 2014, but now they're building these other restaurants called Truett Chick Fil A's, which are kind of a mixture of the Dwarf House and Chick Fil A.
So do they have burgers there?
So it's kind of like a side. So there's Chick Fil A and there's Truett Chick Fil A. Would that have a little bit of a different feel to it then?
Yes.
Do they have a
like
Truett?
diner style?
Okay.
What
So
was that?
do they have a Chick-fil-A? Do they have a chicken burger?
Not anymore. I mean, they have the Chick Fil A chicken sandwich, but they don't have any burgers anymore.
Okay.
That a couple years ago they took those away,
But they still
Interesting.
have the chicken salad sandwich?
they do.
Are they the only ones that are going to have the chicken salad sandwich?
Probably. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
I
is
feel like
probably
it's
there.
so close but so far away.
I know. I get those recipes for you though.
Listen, they posted the recipe. If I wanted to make my own chicken salad, I would have done that a long time ago.
He wants to
All
show me
right.
and just get it.
I want. You gotta get the chicken
I
salad.
might be interested,
Listen,
Chase.
you gotta get.
I'm interested.
You gotta get the chicken salad, and then you gotta put the ranch on it and bacon. Yes, I think that's how I used to order it.
I feel like you ruined it.
No bacon. What? No, bacon doesn't ruin anything. That's
No,
blasphemy.
The
that,
ranch.
But anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
So yeah, so
So you were hired in. You started in your Vermont. I'm not trying to kind of get back on, so we can talk about that. And then from there, is that where the kind of the thought process began then to go into where you're at now? And
I was 15 at the time. It was my first job. When I got my first paycheck, it was just over $300, and that was the most money I'd ever seen.
it was a
at one
glorious
time.
moment.
Oh,
Woo!
yeah.
You were
I
making it
couldn't
rain.
believe Oh yeah, it was crazy because I was doing chores for my mom, making $7 a week. So
not no more.
yeah.
I'm hiring my kid brother.
So that was a game changer for me, and I just wanted to work as much as I could. And I was working, I guess at that age you could only work 15 hours a week, but it felt like more originally. But as soon as I turned 16, I could work up to 30 hours. So I maximized on that, and I just wanted to work and make as much money as I could.
Did you always wear the bow tie?
Not until I rose up to leadership. Once I got there.
So why bow tie?
So I actually had someone who was pretty influential in my life. He was one of my operators, and then an operator is like the owner of a Chick Fil A.
Okay.
And he wore bow ties often. And he was someone whom I really respected, someone whom I just I held to high regard. Mm-hmm. And he wore bow ties a lot. And I was like, those are kind of cool. It's a little different, but also they're very convenient in the restaurant industry. Your tie isn't like flopping around.
That's true.
That's a
and
good point.
You don't need a tie clip.
I would
The
never
tie
thought
just
of that.
stays
Now, was that his thought, or did you just think of that on your own? Like,
there. I thought of that. He never mentioned it.
Yeah.
I think I just thought of it, and it just became my
Here's
thing.
why I love a bow tie so much, because I feel like the master play on the bow tie is at the end of the night when you untie it and it's just like draped down, but it's like a nice, like classy bow tie.
Oh,
not
yeah.
just
you
like
have a cigar?
Yes.
You guys-
That is like a master play. Like that to me is like that dude just either like
He owns it.
Yeah,
He had a good night.
He just
He had a
killed
good
it
night.
in whatever he did, whether it was a business meeting, a party, a wedding, whatever
10-hour
it was.
shift.
He just killed
Popped it off
Yes.
on the way out of the
Yeah.
car. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, wait. When do you pop it off?
So when would I? I guess when I would get home, it was just easier. I didn't want it to fly off or anything. So it was as I got home, I would just untie it.
Okay.
So it wasn't always during closing or anything.
All right. So
Should
so
definitely
how many,
undo it
so
during
so you,
closing.
you worked at the Chick-fil-A here at the local mall for a
Yes.
while.
How many years were you there?
I was there for about 3 years, and I ended up leaving and trying something different. So
Okay.
while I was at Chick Fil A, I worked at a retirement home, half Chick Fil A, half retirement home, but they were both with food. So I decided that, hey, I kind of want to try something that's not food. So I went to AMC Theaters, where I met Tanner. I knew Tanner because of he would come to the counter and order food, but I actually became friends with Tanner, and then became friends with Ikaika.
Because you
through
worked,
that
they
too.
both
Okay.
worked there.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was at AMC Theaters for a year and a half, and little did I know there was still food at AMC. So,
Yeah, yeah. You're still dealing with the food.
Although
sure.
it's garbage.
yeah, exactly.
compared to Chick
It's
Fil A,
gotten
sure.
better.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it's just reheat stuff. Yeah,
Right.
You get something and throw it into like this oven type deal.
Except
or
for the
fry it.
popcorn. Although, yeah, it doesn't matter. All
Anyway,
right. So, so you worked at AMC for a while.
Yes.
We just so easily excited, especially when it comes to food.
Yeah.
You can tell what really
Is that
excites
what's
us.
going on here? Because
Yes.
he's talking
Yes.
about Chick Fil A that's gotten you
Yes.
guys like this. Oh, okay,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right.
got to be it.
Don't judge
right?
me, Ken.
it has to be.
So, all right. So, Chick-fil-A, you went to AMC. How long did you stay at AMC?
I was there for a year and a half, but then I realized that there was really no room for advancement, or at least in the immediate future. And I had already been there for a year and a half, and I kept telling the GM there, hey, my goal is I want to keep moving up. I don't want to stay stagnant. I want more out of this. And she's like, well, just be patient. It's going to come. And I just kept waiting. And they had the structure, a very corporatized structure of they had 4 managers, 3 supervisors. And unless someone was retiring or quitting, no one's going anywhere.
Okay.
So I said, you know what, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go look elsewhere. I didn't leave yet because I would never quit a job before I had one lined up. But
Smart.
yeah, so I went back to talk to my old operator, Gary, and we had a pretty good relationship, the one that had bow tie. And I said, hey, Gary, I was thinking about, like, what would it look like with me coming back? And he said, I was actually about to ask you the same thing. So so I ended up going back. I put in my notice, and I left AMC, and it was a good mutual understanding.
So,
So,
how many,
when you went back, what was your goal?
My goal then was, hey, let's just see what it looks like now. This was the only Chick-fil-A I'd ever worked at. Let's see. It was actually a year and a half can go by in a restaurant, and you could have a lot of people change, a lot of new people, a lot of just everything.
A lot of turnover.
Yeah, definitely, especially with younger
Employees,
workers,
yeah.
employees. So I went back, started as a team member. He was going to ask me to start in leadership, but he said, I don't want to like ruffle feathers with the current leadership team I have. So let's just start you as a team member, and we'll put you on a fast track. I said, hey, I'll do whatever. I'm just happy to be back. So got back, and a couple months later, moved in to become a team leader, and then became what we call a director in the restaurant. And I was a director of service, so working mainly the front counter, anything customer facing. So that's where I was always up there, always there. That's when I got my bow tie. That's when I would wear all my bow ties, was on the front counter.
That's awesome.
so I know you. So you were there. How long were you there until you kind of got into your current position? Then
So
kind of worked up the ranks there.
one thing that really held me back that I didn't take seriously, and this goes back to when I got my job at Chick Fil A, and I was working 2 jobs for a little bit, was I liked working more than I liked going to school. So I went to college in 2009. That's when I started, and that's as soon as I graduated. But I was taking so little classes. And the position I'm in now, it required a bachelor's degree. But I couldn't get it out of my mind. I was just like, no, I just need to keep working. But that didn't make sense. I needed to go to college. I needed to have that degree. I needed to take time away from work to get my degree.
Okay.
So eventually we moved out of the mall. We got to the freestanding restaurant, and I got serious. I said, hey, it's time. Like, I had already met my girlfriend at the time, whom is now my wife, and her name is Rachel. We just got really serious. She was surpassing me in school, and she's younger than me. So it's like, okay, I need to be done. So I got my associate's degree, and then 2 years after that, or just under 2 years after that, I ended up getting my bachelor's. And that's when I said, okay, I'm going to start thinking about how I can apply for this next position that I want.
Now, did you get that in something specific for Chick-fil-A, or did you just get like a general business degree?
It started with getting my associates in business administration, which it's pretty general. It's what a lot of people with business degrees get.
Yeah, but that's like a
Building block.
yeah, it's a great degree because like I used to always think that. So I used to be in retail, right? And And I used to always be like, business, like anybody can be a business. But honestly, it's a great, it's a good degree to have because it opens your eyes to other things that normal people don't see.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good degree to have.
Definitely. And I guess you can see that business applies to a lot of different professions. Even if you think about doctors, someone eventually has to run that doctor's office.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I got my bachelor's in organizational management. I didn't necessarily say, hey, this is specific for Chick Fil A. It could go anywhere with it, but I had Chick Fil A in mind with it.
Okay.
I realized that I wanted to own my own Chick Fil A at that time. And the program I'm in right now, called the Leadership Development Program with Chick Fil A Inc., would help me get there.
All right. So how does that work, right? Because like me coming off the streets, I can't just own my own Chick Fil A.
You can. It does make it harder. And it's hard for us, too. They have so many applicants a year. I want to say it's about 40,000 people express interest to own a Chick Fil A year. And only, they narrow it down to about probably 400 a year actually get interviewed for Chick Fil A's.
Out of how many thousand?
40,000.
40,000 to
So
400?
It's narrowed down a lot.
And then I think the statistic I had read was like 70% have worked at Chick Fil A before.
I'm not sure the percentage exactly. I do know the program that I'm in has about an 86% success rate.
Larry, you say no?
You made that up.
It could be real.
He's got it. 86 success rates.
Yeah.
So out of the program that I'm in, and the program
86% success?
86% success rate of owning a Chick Fil A.
Okay.
But the program itself isn't just to own a Chick Fil A. The goal of the leadership development program is to grow next level business leaders. Nothing about that says Chick Fil A.
What is it
Agreed.
that you do? So in this position, I mean, you said, what was the title of the position again?
I'm a participant in the leadership development program, and the role that I'm serving currently is grand opening supervisor.
And you and your wife both do this similar position, or because you guys are usually in the same location, right? Obviously.
She travels with me. She can train at different restaurants.
Okay.
So I get to be the grand opening supervisor, and she trains the new team members. I bring on teams of trainers to help train these new restaurants.
So did you open up the one here?
Not as a trainer, but I did as a leader. But I had done grand openings before this as a trainer, before this restaurant opened up here. I was in New York, the first one in New York City. I was in the first one in Portland, Oregon.
Now, what's the deal with the grand openings? If you're one of the first people, you get free chicken or something?
You do. First 100.
Okay.
They camp out now for 12 hours. Used to be 24 hours. And you get free Chick Fil A for a year, in quotes. So you get 52 free meals.
Okay. So one a week
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
or all in one sitting?
You could. You just separate transactions. You could do that if you wanted.
Okay.
Okay. I could bring 52 of my closest friends.
Maybe have a great day and then call it.
So after our 52nd episode, we'll find a Chick Fil A that's opening,
Yeah, maybe.
and then we'll invite all of our previous guests.
Hey, we have a hookup. He can let us know when the next one's open.
Yeah, we'll know when to get.
I've got the schedule.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll drive 12 hours to get
Yeah,
52
to-
chicken sandwiches we could have just bought here in Vero Beach.
By the way, nobody else is going to come for that because it's too far.
So rapid fire, how many different places have you been if you've lived in for these grand openings?
In the role that I'm in, so as a grand opening supervisor, because then I also have this other role right in the middle. If I had to guess, with all of that, it would be at least 12 places so far.
How
It's
long
been
do you
11
stay
months.
at that location with them?
When in the role that I'm in, grand opening supervisor right now, it could be anywhere from 2 to 4 months.
Okay.
So
So
that's
you-
why I
so
say
you-
right now, Bainbridge, Georgia is where I reside. I'm living out of a hotel room
Okay.
right now.
Okay. So that everywhere you go, you pretty much have to live in like a kind of that same hotel room style.
Yeah, this one's a really small town, smaller than Vero Beach, which a lot of people are like, smaller than Vero Beach? That's crazy. But it's even smaller than like a Sebastian.
Vero's a
Wow.
big city. Okay.
Yeah.
I've lived in some small towns. Vero's a big city.
I mean, this one doesn't even have a Target, the town I'm in. So there's like nothing.
Sebastian isn't either.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah, I
what
guess you're
Fellsmere.
right. That's true.
It's like Fellsmere.
It's probably similar if you
Is
had to
it?
guess. Like
If
you,
you had
you
to
can drive
compare-
through it if you miss it.
And you wouldn't know it.
Okay.
And but hey, they got a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, listen, Fellsmere does
That's
not
big.
have a Chick Fil A.
And if you get a Chick-fil-A, I feel like things will be developed from there. It's going to be like the epicenter.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
listen.
Wouldn't you think? I feel like there would be
It's gotta
things
be
that
crazy.
would grow around that.
Yeah, this one is doing really well. It had some pretty high numbers for openings, and I think it's just all the little towns that were surrounding it all
Just
came
boom.
together.
Yeah. So one thing that always sticks with me is I used to travel for work, and on one of my plane rides, there was I was coming back to Florida, and I was sitting next to a family, and I asked them, "So what are you looking forward to in Orlando?" It's Orlando, right? You have Disney, Universal. They said, "We're gonna get to eat Chick Fil A." I was like, "Okay, where are you from?"
Though.
I do.
Yeah, I
I've
do
never
too.
had a bad meal.
I eat there like once a week.
Yeah, Mason loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I have one time. Have you ever had the chicken where it's like not? It feels like rubbery. I don't
can
know
see
whether
that.
they did something
But how many times
wrong.
have you eaten there?
Oh,
They-
listen, this is thousands.
They
of
saw you
meals,
come
okay?
in. They saw you come in. They put it in the microwave.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So we
Is,
have. It's
is
all
there something
real.
that causes that though?
It could be a couple
Microwave.
things. It could be that it was just too tough. I mean, you think about the chicken you get at Publix, and
Yeah.
it's raw, just like that.
I've cooked it this way somehow before though myself, and I'm like, oh, that didn't come out right. But I don't know what I did wrong. I'm not a
Right.
chef or a cook even. But it struck me when you said that you're in a leadership development program, that Chick Fil A treats their employees enough to say that, hey, this is to develop you. Is that
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm getting from it, because it immediately took me to the Richard Branson quote where he says, "Train your people well enough so you can leave, so they can leave, but treat them well enough so they don't want to."
Yeah.
So and I always respect companies that are willing to really train their people that well, but also treat them that well as well. Would you put them at Chick Fil A in that category then?
I would. I think that Chick Fil A itself, I mean, there's not a ton of benefits. The program I'm in right now treats me really well.
One second.
Sure.
I apologize to Richard Branson. I'm sure I butchered that quote.
It's okay.
Not that you're
Chick-fil-A.
listening yet.
Chick Fil A itself just provides a great community and a great environment for people. And part of that is we have people like me. I started at 15, but there were people that wanted me to grow and develop. And that's what I want to do for others as well. We inspire that kind of a culture of growth and development, that you're not necessarily going to be in this one restaurant forever, but we want you to be able to make an impact on people, on a community, whatever that may be. And that's really what an owner-operator's goal is supposed to do is, hey, you have a team, you grow and develop them, they grow and develop your business, and you impact a community that you can help be in and grow and develop yourself, that people from that community want to come to your restaurant.
So how close do you think you are to opening up your own?
That was my next question. Good one.
So the program I'm in, I do have to be locked down for 24 to 30 months. I've been in about less than a week, it'll be 11 months. So I have to be in it at least 24. My goal is by 2021, I should be able to open my own, or I could be going into an existing Chick Fil A.
Now,
So
are
it
you willing
depends.
to go wherever it takes, or you got an area that you're like, I'm not moving to Alaska?
So if it were just me, I would go almost anywhere.
It's not you, though.
Understood.
Exactly.
It's not just you.
So I have my wife, Rachel, and family's a big deal for her. And Chick-fil-A does care about that.
Not
And
you. You're
families-
like, screw family. Whatever it takes.
That's not what he meant. Wait a
I love
minute.
my
I'm
family.
messing with you, Chase.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
messing
Chase.
with
I
Chase,
love my family.
you. Chase.
we know the deal.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So I think South Florida is our number one spot.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be. There's some stuff that's coming up in my timeline that really looks awesome, and I'm open to a lot of different things. I'm even open to going as far south as Miami.
Okay.
Miami itself doesn't have a whole lot of Chick-fil-A's, and
Really?
people in Miami don't even know Chick-fil-A that well. That culture doesn't really know Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
that well.
Just wait, Miami.
Yeah.
Well,
Miami, if you're listening, be ready.
Yeah, there's some
There's-
more competition down there too. Like there's a lot more Pollo
Or-
Tropical.
Yeah,
and,
but it's different.
it's
fine.
different. No,
It'll be
it's for
fine.
sure
Yeah.
definitely different.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They might have
So-
Popeye's chicken sandwiches there.
Garbage.
So 2021 is what you're thinking the goal. Are you gonna have
Yeah.
to? Do you have to wait till you're out of this program to start the application process?
The
Then
good thing about this program is they know that the majority of the people in the program want to own their own Chick-fil-A's. So we got our application at a certain point of the program. We're
Okay.
coached along that. We can work with others to help with our interview prep. It's all based on the interview. I could be, I could really be killing it in this program, but if I can't tell you how I'm killing it, then it's not going to work out.
Interesting.
Right.
So
You can let them know about this podcast, though.
I will.
They'll probably be like, "Yeah, this guy's
got it." Yeah.
This guy-
But when you open up your own, do you have to come up with any cash as well?
I knew
And
that'd be
you
the
don't have to
next question.
specify.
I will. That's the thing that gets people, and people don't believe it. But back in the day when True Cathy wanted to start this franchisee agreement, all he asked in return was $5,000. And
Stop it.
now they've changed it to $10,000. So all it takes is $10,000 to start up your own Chick Fil A, to have your own Chick Fil A. The kicker is, first of all, you have to be selected among the 40,000 different people that are applying each year, and that number is growing significantly. There's people that used to be doctors, people that used to be CEOs of companies that are applying for Chick Fil A's because they see how successful they can be.
Yeah.
So I'm going up against those kind of people too. So it's not even a guarantee that getting out of this program will get me a Chick Fil A. I just hope that the program, and that's what it's designed to do, is to make me even more competitive for that.
or open more doors for you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nice. I
The
like it.
Now I know the owner is an owner operator, which is a big deal. I mean,
Yes.
I truly feel that's why Chick-fil-A's are so good, because it's, it's just not an owner that visits
Lives-
once a year or never, you know.
Right.
So you can only own one, or is it you can own multiple, or how do they work that?
Right now, the most that one can own is 3.
Okay.
They've never had anyone own more than 3, and that's really because they don't want to see. They want to see, what is your leadership capacity. That's the whole thing. Is you have one guy or girl who's in a restaurant, and they don't have to be there all the time. They just have to be there really when they think they need to be there. If you want it to be successful, you're going to be present. You're going to be growing your people, growing your leaders, and building depth within that team.
Yeah, and that's has to be what makes it successful, though, because so many other companies aren't like that, and Chick-fil-A has, or at least part of the reason why. And we see it now because Steak and Shake is modeling this the same thing. It's $10,000 to open or take over one of their restaurants. It has to be owner operator, but I mean, they're chasing that same thing that Chick-fil-A has been doing so long. And Steak and Shake has the article I read said they're at one of their lowest points as far as customer surveys and how customers feel about them and stuff like that. So this is their new approach, is to really copy what Chick-fil-A has been doing for so many years.
Yeah.
That's
How,
good.
how do they get everybody to say my pleasure? Because honestly, I used to work in retail and it was never my pleasure.
Sometimes I feel bad because I say thank you, or I try to say thank you a lot, or I do maybe too much. I don't know. But I'm like, oh, geez, I got to make them say my pleasure again. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, but
Is that part of the training?
But the point is
definitely is.
that they're to your point, Corey, like their customer service is outstanding.
Yeah, it is. But she hands me
Yeah,
the
it's-
drink, or he hands me the drink. I'm like, thank you. And then they hand me a straw. I'm like, thank you. And then they hand me the Splenda, and I'm like, thank you. And I'm like, I just ordered a large unsweet tea with 5 Splendas, and I said thank you 3 times, and they said my pleasure 3 times.
But you say thank
it gets
you.
awkward at some
But you say
point.
thank you because of how good they actually.
Yes.
Versus just.
But I think that
here you go, you
yeah.
big jerk.
Yeah.
You know,
Sloppy
which is what you
son
get
of a
in a
gun.
lot of areas.
you can't get in other
you know?
places. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Customer service is above.
so how do they do that?
Anybody
That's
else.
what I want to know.
It's really about being intentional in the training. It's making it a huge focus and knowing that it really starts with the people. So for one, I'm pouring into the people that are serving our guests. We refer to them as guests, not customers, because we want to treat them like guests in our own home. I mean, when I walked in here, you guys offered me a drink. You said I didn't even have to take off my shoes. It was just, you want them to feel comfortable. And part of that is you want them to know it's your pleasure. It's, hey, I came in here and you want me to know that you're hospitable. And actually, Chick-fil-A didn't even start my pleasure. The founder, True Cathy, he got it from going to a Ritz-Carlton. He stole it. It's like, it was part of the hospitality that he saw going to a Ritz-Carlton hotel.
I get that.
Yeah.
That next level of service, and there's
Exactly.
no reason why you can't bring that to a fast food
It's
restaurant.
such a small
Exactly.
thing,
Yeah.
but it's huge.
Yeah.
Right. It
And I-
separates us.
Definitely. And I think even as an employee, I would think, even though you're trained to say it, it becomes so natural that I would think it elevates you as a person just to be in more of that mindset.
Now we're just breaking down all Chick-fil-A secrets now.
Yeah.
No, somebody's gonna be able
But-
to open up a chicken restaurant just based on this podcast. Because the other thing that separates them is the sauces. Okay,
yeah.
right? Like they
Yeah.
have the
Chick-fil-A
best sauces,
sauce.
and they haven't cheaped up. It's still the same plastic cup that you can fit the sandwich in if you need to, or the nugget. Like, because everybody
You
else,
guys can't
it's too
see, but
small.
Corey's
It's too
emulating what
small.
it would look like to dip.
And also the mac and cheese. Why did it take so long for them to come out with the mac and cheese?
That's really what it is with a lot of our products. It takes a long time,
my
and we have a
gosh.
lot of stuff that's in testing.
A lot of R&D there, huh?
A lot.
They got it. They hit it out of the park. Have you had it?
I haven't had it.
It's so good.
Have you had it, Larry?
I have not.
It's the real deal.
And I'm not
I've
a mac
heard-
and cheese fan, so I will
No,
try it and give
it
you
is
my
the
honest
real
opinion. 'Cause I'm
deal.
not a huge mac
Oh.
and cheese person.
Why don't
but-
they have it for breakfast? Because the other day I went there on a breakfast trip. By the way, Tom, if you're listening, he never had breakfast at Chick Fil A, which is crazy to me. We went there for breakfast. and he's
People
like,
don't realize what's there in the morning.
It's so good.
It's really good.
It's the best breakfast for
gotta
fast food, in my opinion.
Oh,
And
you got to go burrito bowl with extra salsa.
regardless,
They have
Buffalo sauce in mine.
so on the way in, he's like, "Can you ask him if they have a mac and cheese?" like I'm his parent. and so
Like he's a small child, but he's like baby Huey. in the
yeah.
back.
So I went ahead and did that, and they said no. So
No
you
mac
know,
and cheese.
I-
Hey,
I-
that's got to take some time. They got to get that cheese crust on top just right.
yes,
They will do milkshake for breakfast though, right?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
definitely do a milkshake.
Yeah,
for
I've got
breakfast.
the milkshake for breakfast.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I passed Chick-fil-A on the way to work. So.
Oh, because
This
it's
could go
great
downhill quick.
when
All
they,
right.
when they do the orange one in the
Hey,
summertime.
when you're listening,
it's kind of like having orange juice
It's
for breakfast.
exactly.
So you
The
can
orange one?
Yeah, like the orange. Yeah.
We use simply orange juice, mix
Okay.
it with ice cream.
Also,
mix it up.
why don't you guys use Natalie's? Because you're both Christian-based
too expensive.
companies, right?
it's too expensive.
Well,
Just stop because
well,
Natalie's
he
is
doesn't make
far
these
and
decisions,
above.
though.
I know, but listen, you're gonna have the ear of some good people. All right, so when you go in this interview, you'll be like, "Listen, I got the next ticket. Natalie's orange juice."
Natalie's is good. It's real good.
It's just not
Now,
as
listen,
good. Apparently,
stop. Natalie's isn't good. Natalie's is the best. Okay, Chick-fil-A best
Hashtag.
chicken sandwich. Okay,
Yes.
hands down.
Well,
Don't
No,
you want
There's
to?
no wells in this moment.
we haven't had Popeyes.
No,
Stop.
stop it.
Just
I've
stop.
had Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Popeyes.
We haven't.
Yes, I
Sorry,
have. I
garbage.
bought it off of Facebook Marketplace.
No, you didn't.
For $1 million.
Why wasn't this on
Just
Facebook?
so you know, they are out there. People try to put them on Facebook Marketplace.
Did you buy it?
No, I'd go to Chick-fil-A and get my good chicken sandwich.
This is your leg up, Chase. All right. If you can take anything from this podcast,
which you don't have to.
just bring in a bottle of Natalie's with you or a case. Explain to them Natalie's story and let them know why they need Natalie's. Because honest to God, I buy Natalie's. I appreciate their business model and who they are, and they're always giving back to the community. And I feel like Chick-fil-A is kind of in that same field. But then again, they have the best product. Like
Right.
you can't just do all that. You have to back it up
And not
with the
deliver.
service and the
Yeah.
product. Like
Right.
it's got to be all three. It can't,
nothing without
to
the
me,
chicken.
you know, I'm
Yeah.
willing to spend the $12 for a gallon of orange juice at Publix because I know it's Natalie's.
right?
I know it's going to be the best. I know what their company stands for. I know, what their service. If I ever had a problem with Natalie's, I'd call Natalie's. Like, and I don't have a doubt that they would make it right. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
All right.
All right,
So
Larry's got something.
Not
here
to go
say.
off on another tangent, but go ahead, Larry.
We're very
But yeah.
passionate about food here.
yeah, we
Me
love
too.
food, and honestly, I find it amazing, Chase, that you are really going after your dreams. I really want you to come back when you have opened up your restaurant, especially because you'll be in the area with the South Florida.
That's the
Yes.
goal.
So
Don't forget about us.
Yeah, don't
All
forget.
right?
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before that, though, I got one final question for you.
Sure.
Based on your experiences, what is one of the most important pieces of advice you can give to our listeners?
I thought about this for a little bit, and the answer would probably have to be intentional. You have to be intentional with everything you do when it comes to selecting the team members that we put in our restaurants to serve people, being intentional about the training that we put them through, being intentional about saying my pleasure instead of you're welcome or no problem, being intentional about the product that's going out of your restaurant and saying, I'm giving you the best product possible, but also about being intentional just in life, going to somebody and saying hello if you recognize them, going to somebody and saying, hey, how have you been? it's just being intentional is a huge part of who I am. And I try every day to just be more intentional, even in my relationships with people I already know, with my wife. I need to even do a better job at it, but being intentional is huge.
That's great advice,
That's powerful.
Man. Yeah, definitely.
It couldn't be any better.
Yeah.
Chase, we
appreciate
thank you for coming on,
Definitely
and we
appreciate it, man. We've-
South Florida, be ready.
Yeah.
This was a great conversation.
2021.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey guys, we appreciate you listening. If you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns, you can find us at fullgorillalife@gmail.com. Make sure you guys share that stuff out there on social media.
And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Full Gorilla Life, and on Twitter at Gorilla Full, like beautiful, but with a gorilla.
And please, this is Larry. Do not forget to visit our website at fullgorilla.life. And please not forget to hit subscribe on your podcast app of choice.
Later.
All right.